Hey everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your art Sherpa, and we're here for another live painting where I'm going to show you step by step how to paint. I feel like I sound hot. Do I sound hot?
Oh, I think I just have the overhead on a little loud.
Okay. All right. So how are you guys doing today? Today I'm going to show you guys how to paint the baby shower.
The baby shower.
Step by step, follow along in real time. Everything you need to know to be able to create this beautiful, cute, adorable painting from the comfort of your home. Some things you need to know in the description. I like to hide materials, and I also like to hide a couple of links. One link to the full painting that you are welcome to print out or put up on a screen as we're painting along that can really help you not get lost. And because I don't think that drawing is the requirement of entry into painting, I also have a coloring page traceable. Ooh. And I say it's a coloring page and traceable because kids color it and you can color it, and plus you can also use it for tracing. And on the mic is my husband John.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Because we're live.
We're live.
And he is the commander of the ship.
I pushed all 3 buttons.
And there's a lot more than 3 buttons back there.
But only 3 that matter.
Only 3 that matter, but he pushes the 3 that matter. Today, if you're having a baby shower at home, I think one of the great traditions is the sippy sippy, where the pregnant lady gets no good sippy sippy and all her friends have a really good time.
Yeah. So everyone is saying that they love your headband.
Oh, I was like headbanding up today.
Yeah, you were even nervous. You were like, I don't know if I want a headband or if I want a hat. But we wanted to try the headband.
I'm finding the headbands are more comfortable with the headset.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking I got to go hit the Sam Moon and get some more headbands.
We could do some little headbands for you for a while. Headbands and hats.
Headbands and hats. I'm still loving hats. If you're somebody who crochets or makes hats and you're like, man, I was making her a hat and I was going to send it to her heart mail. Yeah, still do that. I'm still going to wear your hat.
Still going to wear the hats.
I'm still going to wear the hat. This cord is everywhere. I have a tether. We weren't in wireless. Apparently, when you go wireless, you're like a newscaster.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you're 6 feet from me, so it's like I don't know why you would need wireless.
Because I trip like over this cord like a crazy person. It's because I'm not coordinated, is why. I'm okay. So in the description is also the colors of paint. If you're coming for the replay, thank you for coming. There's a couple things that we do. We kind of talk to our community during this. The pacing's fairly fast, so I promise you won't be bored. We do like to do things like wishes, and there's, ongoing conversations in our community. So if you can make a live event, I totally recommend you do, because it's just the most loving place on earth. Also, in relationship to the conversation I saw previous to this broadcast, I'd like to say my name is Cinnamon. I'm the Art Sherpa, and I am addicted to teaching you art. See, I watch you. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side. You guys have hopefully found your ability to print it out or put it on a screen. Hopefully I'm going to remember how to draw it. I'm going to put up a 16 by 20 pre-gessoed canvas. I get mine at Michael's in a 5-pack. The good thing about them is they're incredibly inexpensive. The bad thing is I don't really love the coatings on them, but for the money, they're coated and I can make it work, is I guess what I'd say. But if you ever want to just hit it with another coat of gesso, you can do that.
Ooh, yeah.
You don't have to do it. You just can do it. The other thing I'd like to tell you today, you have a couple options. On the blue side, you can do this blue side with Southern Ocean Blue, a Phthalo Blue, or an Aqua. This particular one is bright aqua green. It's like a turquoise. Any of these will work. And also, if you just have a girlfriend who's like, I'll do a baby shower, but if I see any of those baby colors, I'm going to end everybody. Change up the colors.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
okay. This is art. Paint store has all the colors. So you can definitely match whatever your girlfriend has going on. I'm so excited to be doing a baby shower theme today.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of wishes for good pregnancies out there.
I bet there are. I know when I was pregnant, I had a lot of wishes for good pregnancy for myself, so I can imagine. And I know we have a couple of wishes that came in before, so you want to get our 2 earlies and then get what's going on in the chat?
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of them. So, sorry,
Okay.
I was half paying attention there.
What, you catch up on the wishes.
No, I have a bunch. I have a bunch of wishes.
All right, I just want to say this. Why do we wish? Because wishing is an act of childish optimism, and children, they kind of get the art thing. You've got to be optimistic when you start painting an empty canvas. You need to be optimistic in your life. You need to have a little scotch of unrealistic hope that and it's the wishing on a star. It's believing that the universe is a friendly place. And we can lose that in life, and it's great to do this to get back to it. It's something artists do on their canvas. Usually artists write stuff like, I believe this painting will sell. Right? And art journalers will do a thing where they just write down everything that's bothering them in their life, and then they paint it out. Mm-hmm. This is just a tradition in art, and I like to put it into art canvases. So I really encourage you to do this at home. But if you think it's silly, just fast forward.
Oh, yeah.
Or have a sippy while we're doing it. All right, wishes, John.
Okay. So to start with, we're going to, both Heather, Amber, and a bunch of other folks were wishing that everyone has a very merry and happy Christmas. So I want to go ahead and get that one out there because there was a bunch of those. And
all right, a very merry and happy Christmas to everyone.
Yes,
I really wish that all over the world.
We have several wishes for tummy health, for Mona, for Besiders, for myself. Besiders was hoping to have a Crohn's-free Christmas.
This is a wish that I have, that they find a relief for Crohn's, because the medication is not fun.
No.
And the illness is not fun, so definitely I'd actually like to wish for relief and a cure.
I would be in for that.
Like I would like a meal with no stress. That's what I would wish for.
And then Always and Forever Art is wishing for business success.
Oh, yes. Let's wish for business success.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's, in every way. Business success, just finding your purpose in life and being able to have well-being from it. Mm-hmm. I would like to send out a wish to our own Stephanie and Mark B. Stephanie's mom went into the hospital yesterday. Mm-hmm. And we're just wishing that they caught everything early and that she has a full and complete recovery and is returned home to her family. And since this is happening to them over the holidays, I just wish for them support, light, and love so they can get through this the best way. And to any family going through this out there right now, if this is happening to you right now, I just wish you strength and hope. So we're wishing Stephanie's mom makes it home.
Yeah.
And I know I've got one for a medical job in Houston.
Oh yeah, we have the medical job in Houston, and then we also will have. It's funny, we have a lot of funny comments out there that we're going to have to get to here in just a second. The last one we'll join is we have Rhea was asking for no pain for her and her son who are going to have a tattoo together.
Well, that is a very good use of a wish.
That's a very
pain-free tattoo.
Yeah.
I wish this for you.
And it was one that I thought
the pain-free mother-son tattoo. I'm going to even add mother-son. And the other one, I'd like to do some baby wishes. So I'd like to wish. I know there's a lot of our community that you're wishing for babies. You're wishing to have a baby, and I went through that before my first daughter. So I would like to send a personal wish to all of you that are doing the baby dance, that a baby is gifted to you, that's your Christmas.
Yeah.
And if you're currently carrying a baby, new mamas, of course I wish a happy, healthy pregnancy for you. But what I really wish, having been through this 3 times, is the best possible labor and delivery.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I really wish that your emergency room nurse or your doula or your midwife is wonderful. Because that is such an important person. You think it's the doctor, but it's your caregiver during labor.
Yeah, and dads should stay involved too.
Yeah. You caught every one of our babies.
I did. I was the first person, other than you, to touch the babies.
Yeah. Well, I think in a way, kind of the first to hold them.
Yeah.
Because I was a hot mess, so. Almost not. I'm not one of these people like in the midwife videos that's like, oh no, come in, let's have a party, let's meditate, it's fine. Yeah. It's just a baby. I'm like one of these ripping things off the walls, flipping out.
No, it's like Dexter up in here.
Girl.
Yeah, it's like Dexter up in here.
It is. We actually used Dexter for our second baby to prepare the living room.
Yeah, home births, so relatively speaking.
So not to scare anybody off.
So, Lindsay. Speaking of scaring people off, Lindsay came in and said hello.
Hi, Lindsay. How are you doing? Happy holidays.
She was wondering where your hat was.
So yeah, no, I'm finding the headbands a little more comfortable with the headset.
Isn't that funny?
So I'm being fabulous with the headband.
I like it. I like the beaded headband.
It's kind of fun. Something different.
Mm-hmm.
My head hasn't fallen off without the hat, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad. How you doing, girl? I hope you're good today.
So what all are we doing?
Well,
What's next?
we're going to put out some paint. Now, usually I put out all the paint and I tell you what all the colors... I just messed with John right there. I put out all the paint and I tell you what all the colors are, but because we're going to be really doing this background, I want to focus just on that and then put out the paint for the figures. So that's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to take my T-square.
Mm-hmm.
You could just take a ruler or you could guess it, but I'm going to make a mark at the halfway mark of what my T-square thinks the halfway mark is.
Mm-hmm. You know, today, Nikki in chat here was commenting that she's been having a little trouble loading the paintbrush.
Oh, yeah, that can be a thing.
And she's been overloading and over mixing.
Yes.
So maybe today, when you're doing some paintbrush work, if you could touch on some of that might
I
be
would
helpful.
love to. I'd be very happy to. I'm going to tape to the right side of my mark, and I'm going to tape to the right side of this mark. And if I remotely measured correctly, then I have bisected my canvas quite nicely in half.
But you have to remember which side of the tape is the bisecting side.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're a half inch off.
Otherwise, you're a half it. Well, what it is that you get this line and then the rest line. I have sighted this in before. I have absolutely sighted this in, and so it's not impossible to just go, because what happens is you have this big central figure, and it kind of helps correct the line. But today we enjoyed our tape so much for Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would demo it more. Remember to burnish it down with, you could burnish it down with an eraser. This is artist tape. And actually, I think I don't have it in my master thing. This is artist tape. I'm going to have to put it in the comments if you don't see it down there right now. It's artist tape. But if you watch it on the replay, you're going to see the artist tape. Okay, you're going to stunt hands. I'm having mic issues. Oh, thank you. Am I breathy? This sound thing is really hard. So we've got that going right here. And I'm going to put out white. Probably need more than that in this one. But you can keep adding white, so you don't have to put all you need out at once. I do just to show you what I'm doing. And in this particular case, I'm going to demo the Aqua, which I guess is right here. Mm-hmm. Which is not quite the same as Southern Ocean Blue, but will give you a similar effect. Right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Jennifer says she has some watercolor pencils today.
Oh, Jennifer.
So
and I'll put the black right here. Now, guys, this will work with phthalo blue. This would work with ultramarine blue. Any of the blues that you won't maybe get the exact same hue, but you're going to get the same emotional feelings. So it's not really that important. I have done these, John will verify, I've done these canvases in like every conceivable combo color shade. So I get my square brush wet, and I've got a, who knows what number it is anymore. I think it's like a 22 or something from Creative Mark.
It's a big abused brush.
It's a big abused bright, which a bright just means it's squared off. Now shaders will be squared off, but they'll have a slightly longer bristle. It's
Show that in your close-up.
Showing it up in my close-up.
So that way they can see. There you go.
And I like Creative Mark, but Simply Simmons is pretty wonderful too, guys. Don't knock the Simply Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. It's just that. And I'm going to do an interesting thing. I'm going to come and I'm going to pull a little bit of white.
Yep.
And then I'm going to come and get a little bit of black. A little bit of blue. And then a scotch of black. And how that looks on the load of the brush is this.
Yeah, it'll come in there. There it goes.
There. See? Not mixed. And then as straight as I can pull this down, I'm going to pull this down towards the halfway mark. Okay? And then I'm going to get a little scotch of black and a little bit of blue and some more white. Is not getting too aggressive with your black. This background, vertical, I stop about the halfway point here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to come back up with darker colors. Here's another example. It's all loaded on a bead at the tip of the brush.
And not blended or mixed in there at all.
Not for this background, not blended or mixed in at all.
So it makes that nice streaky,
Yeah.
painterly look.
Now, you'll see me go up and down to coat the canvas and make sure it's all covered. Right? And you can see here where, I'm going to show something else here, just because it's relevant to your experience. See where it's not covering the canvas?
Yeah.
All right. So if I were to go in here and just work that, I'd just make a gray.
Up a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
There
it
it
is.
goes.
Okay. You can see that if I just work
yeah,
it, I
it
just
grays
make it
out.
gray.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. You can do it a little bit, but you have to stop yourself before you make the crazy gray. Now let's zoom out of the nausea cam. Nausea cam, which if you're
Little
pregnant,
closer.
I apologize.
Go ahead and fill the frame up with the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Nausea cam, pregnant
Yeah.
women everywhere. I'm so sorry.
That's awesome.
It's so bad.
It's so true. I'm going to take it off that camera even though it's mean.
You've been with me through it. He knows. He knows. My first trimester symptoms were always extreme exhaustion and nausea.
Mm-hmm.
Just, man. Oh, and the other weird pregnancy symptom I always had is I would start watching CSI
yeah.
and Law and Order like a crazy person.
Yeah.
That was actually before the pregnancy test would turn over.
I don't know what it is about Law and Order, but it's the dun-dun.
Yeah, I can't even watch it by accident now because John's like, got a little bit of black there, so this might be a little bit strong, but that's okay. Some of the streaks can be stronger, and you don't have to worry about it. You're just telling the story of a happy yet rainy day. It's a happy rainy day,
Yeah.
you know? Being pregnant is a very interesting time.
Stephanie said she did the Law and Order thing too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What is with you? That is the thing you should not be watching while pregnant. Other thing you should not be watching while pregnant is the Twilight movies. Don't even get into that nonsense while you're pregnant.
Mm.
Remember that? Just messed me all up.
Yeah, I think I slept through all those anyway.
You did, but then I didn't. You know, and it can be hard to get there. It can be hard to get that baby dance going. So I'm really wishing that all of you that are trying to get that baby dance going, that you have that happen. It's a troubling time.
Mm-hmm.
We went through that when we were first trying to get pregnant, where we just were not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting. It's hard on the guy. It's hard on the girl. So give yourself a hug. You know. For all the crazy things your doctor will say to you. You're just going to, all the stuff that you're going to go through. It's just part of the journey. I think this got a little white for me, so I'm inclined to come back with a little bit of blue and sort of blue that up a little bit.
Ah.
And my abused brush is flaking onto my canvas.
You should show that. Show
What?
what's happening. To your
Because it's
abused brush.
so interesting.
Well, because this is what happens if you don't take care of your brush.
If you don't take care of your brush, then every once in a while your brush leaves little body parts on your canvas. I'm very bad to my brushes. Nausea cam. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
So now when I come on the lower part, guess what? I grab a lot more black and blue
Mm-hmm.
and not really grab white. And I come up.
Oh. Stephanie was saying that it'd be fun to do a cocopelli.
Oh, it'd be so fun to do cocopelli.
Yeah, that's she was saying that's the fertility symbol. So she thought that'd be interesting to see.
You know, that actually is very good, and I think I'd like to hit a whole series of this in dream catchers and a whole bunch of things, because I think it's you know, pregnancy is one of those things that we all go through some part of that journey, trying to be pregnant, being pregnant. But each journey is so, you know, kind of unique. And it doesn't matter how many people have gone through it. And even though you're not alone, it still is a crazy, crazy time.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Can you
to...
put your close-up on that?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what you're doing.
I'm trying to make sure that this line is very nice here between these two spaces.
I see.
Trying to make. I'm just being arty. Be arty.
What are you doing now?
Be farty. Be arty.
Yep.
Be farty arty.
Yep. I think I still have your mic off.
You have my mic off?
I think you tilt it up and then angle it down.
I will try, my darling.
It's my fault. See?
Oh, please.
There you go. That's better.
Mm.
All better.
Mm.
I mute you so you can drink.
Girl, no mosa today.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Your cowgirl. Oh, and you should share what your. So this is using organic orange juice, and we got some Angry Orchard cider for you.
Definitely drink this in front of your pregnant girlfriend who can't have any and really needs some. It's awesome. Don't give her any leeway. My favorite shower that I ever threw.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's definitely tradition. My favorite shower I ever threw was from a friend of mine, Margaret. And I took onesies in sizes from 0 to 3 to 24 months.
Yeah.
And I hand tie-dyed them or dyed them in some fashion. I did batik and all kinds of wonderful things. And then I put out this craft table with embellishments and all kinds of baby-safe embellishments.
Mm-hmm.
That you could do and let all the guests make onesies for the babies.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
That was a lot of fun. I really loved that. And they really loved that because, of course, they came with gorgeous, fabulous strollers and gifties and things that you do. But the handmade onesies, I had to write down to a sewing station. You could tack this stuff down. This wasn't just like an iron-on, patch-on kind of situation. And we have some really cool conventions and shows here in Houston, so I was able to get some gorgeous embellishments.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was, insanely cool. And then the pre-dyeing them was really helpful. And even, everybody just got really into it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I wholly recommend if you're throwing a shower. Is just having a whole creative shower. You can paint this with your girlfriends. You can make onesies. I bet if you search YouTube to the crafting channels and the sewing channels, all right, Miss Lindsay, I bet she's got some bananas baby shower projects that you could do for free in your shower, blow your friend's mind. I bet Maymay does. I'm sure Secret Soto does. I'm guessing there's some projects out there.
Yeah. You're just Frugal Crafter has some 1,200 projects or 1,200 videos.
Really does.
So I'm pretty sure you can find some stuff to do and some good ideas for some
amazing
some gifts there.
Yeah. And also those invitations are crazy expensive. Make them. Yep.
Yeah, get a Cricut and go see Ian the Frugal Crafter.
No, Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter.
Off-Kilter Crafter.
He's in no way frugal.
I have two.
There's too many crafters. They're cranky. They're crazy. They're
frugal.
On crickets.
They're nice.
They're nice. Artists were so egotistical. We're just our name and art.
But Ian, who does the Cricut stuff, it'd be really cool because he could help with the invitations and things.
So I've got my nice you can see that it's light up here and this lower part is dark, and you really want a big difference between the upper part and the lower part. You just do. I'm going to rinse this out. Now, we're going to test it. I'm going to switch out.
New water?
Just because I'm going to switch out water at this stage because pull your tape off the opposite direction you put it down on. Tape tip.
Ooh.
Aha! Look at that sharp line. It's kind of everybody's crazy. Sorry. I'm not going to sing. That's not going to happen. This is not that show.
It isn't?
Though Mark made a theme song for John.
Did he? Oh, that's right. He did. I have to get that and bring it in and play it in here, too. That's what I need to do.
We got to get Mark's permission.
Add it as the ending credits.
Yeah.
We don't have any ending credits.
I hope some people do. I hope I hear from people who do a baby shower. I'm also going to, just for the purposes of this, because you know what blue and yellow make?
Blue and yellow?
Blue and yellow make green. So I'm going to try to make sure that I keep my green stuff away from my yellow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes. I'm going to get another nice 20. It's a 20 because I haven't abused this brush yet.
Go down, down, down. There you go.
Showing the number. See? I'm going to get this wet. I might. Oh, that's right. We did the project for the kids yesterday and took the hairdryer out of here. So this is going to dry in a natural pace.
Hold on. I'll let you...
It's okay. No, it's okay. Just stay with me. It's fine. I'm going to get some yellow and some white and a scotch of black. I'm going to show you.
How much is that tape that you were... that artist tape?
Couple bucks.
It's just a couple bucks?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's worth it. Artist tape opens up a whole series of projects and things that you can do that you could not do any other way. A lot more yellow, a little more black. Just pulling this down. Now you could do yellow ochre. You can do cad yellow here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of options.
So this painting here isn't a subtle message to our fans that we're expecting, is it?
Oh, no. No.
No.
No.
We're outnumbered at 3. We're just doing this for the love of the
And
of
we're
the
really
community.
past that window. That window is... I've had that full experience, and I'm very grateful for it. But you're not getting me in that labor room again. So, yeah, no.
We're pretty good. We're outnumbered. We have 3 lovely children.
And they're winning.
And they've won.
They really have, man.
So,
because we really make this one kid who's smarter than us, more energetic than us.
So I had a quick question here.
Hmm.
So do you prefer a smooth canvas or a textured one? And do you need to apply gesso to get it that way?
The smoothness of the canvas is simply for the project that you're doing. So if I'm doing a portrait, I will have the smoothest canvas I can. I'm going to buy a specialty canvas. It has a very tight, smooth weave. It's going to have a sanded finish. I'm probably going to continue to finish it after with gesso and sanding. I might even likely switch to a board. But in like my painting where it's painterly, I like a little tooth. I like a little tooth. Tooth.
A little toothy texture.
A little toothy texture. A little toothy texture. And a little white, a little more gray. Now on this side, you need this yellow to gray out, okay, and be much lighter because you're going to be doing a yellow umbrella on here. Or you may want to go for a different color umbrella. But you still want it to really be able to show.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that you could do here is switch to ochre if you're concerned. Or as you move closer to the blue, just work your white and black just a little bit more heavily. So the yellow's still in there. I'm going to turn my brush on its edge. Now I could have, if I had my hairdryer, I would have taped this again.
Yeah.
But now that I have this guide, I'm going to be able to keep a pretty...
Yeah.
And I don't even mind you guys picking the color of the umbrella today.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
So we could choose Passamaquoddy red?
No. You may not pick the color of the umbrella.
At home, they can pick their own colors.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Because it's the process of the umbrella that you're learning. It's not the actual colors, believe it or not. If you're really, really new painting, you want to do exactly what I'm doing. But if you've been doing this with me a few times, you can be like, I think.
So, wow, there's I'm going to see. There's a really interesting request. I think it was Bonnie. Let's go back and see. Yeah, it was Bonnie. Was saying that she wanted me to take the third camera angle and swing it over here so I could paint along with you on Christmas, on New Year's Eve. I'm trying to imagine that.
Oh, I think that would be a lot for John.
I don't know if I could be.
If that's even possible.
Although I was thinking about doing a video, kind of like a reaction video, where I videotape myself painting along with you.
Uh-huh. Oh, like from a video?
Yeah.
Like what would it be like for somebody at home?
Yeah.
So you see how I've lightened it up right here quite a lot.
You adjust your close up there, and we can see the. Oh yeah. It's very similar in those tones, just
yeah.
In the. Yeah.
Quite a lot towards the center. But I've let it be a very yellow out here because this is a baby shower and you want bright colors for a baby's room. It's important to have beautiful, beautiful colors for a baby's room.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever colors those are, they should be really beautiful. Now I'm going to get some black and some yellow. And I'm going to come up from the bottom. Coming up from the bottom. And just following this little line.
She's saying, they're saying, no, we won't have any cameras. It'll just be you guys out there. No camera switching. Oh, and Mark was asking when there will be another viewer-directed painting.
You know, I really had fun doing it, and I'm willing to do another one. The thing is nobody paints them after.
Oh, that's true. Well,
I've gotten just a handful of the back.
Well, I tell you what we ought to do is...
But it's fun to do, so I don't mind doing one on an occasion.
What we ought to do is just like in an after show, we'll plan on doing one.
Well, not an after show, so we get them all tired.
Well, all right, that's true.
We're going to have an after show today because we have viewer mail.
We have viewer mail. But we just broadcast like 3 times a week, so it's like, when else are we going to squeeze it in?
I don't know. But we'll do one.
We'll do one.
We'll do one. Because they're fun to do.
Yeah, and
it's good for me. It's challenging for me.
So that'd be really cool.
Just pulling this up. And I'm going to try to make sure that I make... Let's see if I've got this up close cam. I'm going to try to make this edge also interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's important. And I need a little more of this coming up here. Just making it an interesting feathered edge. This is a good place for you to just enjoy the way paint puts itself on a canvas.
Mm.
Because the paint really does the work for you.
Wow, a lot of people were saying they did the pears the same day you posted up there. Mona did.
They did. I'm already collecting pears. The pears are going to be, that whole year, 2016, is going to be, again, like I told you earlier, eat, pray, love for people.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come out of that going, wow. I didn't know art could do that.
Eat, paint some more.
Eat. Okay, I guess sippy, paint, laugh. It's the year of sippy, paint, laugh. That's our thing. I just did that right off the cuff. Sippy, paint, laugh. We'll make a shirt. Because you know what I really don't feel like doing? I don't want to go to an ashram and meditate for like 5 days. So I would, however, sippy...
I will.
I know you will. Sippy, paint, and laugh, I'll do. Is as powerful as meditation, trust me. These things are all powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And meaningful. So did we have any suggestions, or everybody all good with as is?
Cheney says don't eat the paint.
Definitely don't eat the paint. Even if it is a delicious chocolate cupcake and you really, really wanted it.
So, Mona was curious when she can share her pairs on Facebook.
Well, you can post on Facebook your pairs. People are already posting the pairs. Maricha and our web team is working on coming up with a way that we can, have a very orderly collection of the pairs so that there can be, in the dream of it, it's that at the end of 2016, when you start turning in your second set of pairs too, you really get to see not just the difference between the two paintings, which will be astounding, but the difference between the statement about yourself as an artist.
Yeah.
It'll be a trip. So we want people to be able to see that because it's going to be really amazing. Now I really want a hairdryer.
You really want a hairdryer? You may go get it while you're doing that? I'll grab it.
Yeah, maybe.
While you're getting your next colors out, do you know what your next colors are going to be?
I do. I'm going to start putting those out. I think I'm going to stay on my palette paper because it's good. I'm going to put out some Cad Red.
All right, I'll put it down there.
So if you're painting with kids or people where you're concerned that there's a health issue, paint Hue. If you just want the most rich color, paint Cad Red Medium. Hue's a great place to save money though. All student paints and all lower than professional grade paints though are Hue. Just by default, they just are. Oh no, John. I forgot the Dioxazine Purple. Which is probably over there somewhere. Dioxazine Purple! Dioxazine Purple! Or any purple. At all. One of them is purple. And he's like, these all look exactly the same. The nice thing, okay, so here's an interesting difference between paint companies while we're doing this. On my tube of burnt sienna, you see this little mark here. This little swatch of paint here. And it's here too on the titanium white. And then you see these three little dots. 3 little stripes. So what Golden does do, this is something, I don't like their caps, but what they do is good, is they take the actual paint from the actual tube and they paint over these lines, which tells you a couple of things. Exactly the color of the paint and how transparent the paint actually is, instead of just reading some diagram. So that's an interesting thing. Hate the caps. Hate them. Hate them. But I do very much appreciate that because, this little swatch of Dioxazine Purple isn't really going to look anything like what's in the tube because it's printed. It's an issue, man.
Okay, I'm back here. Sorry.
You back?
Sort of.
Put out some yellow ochre, which I'm doing the Winsor Newton Gallery Acrylic, which is a mid-grade paint I really like. I like the Winsor Newton Gallery Acrylic. I do. Okay. And a scotch of the Phthalo Blue. Somewhere. Put it somewhere. At some point I get kind of where can I put this on my canvas? On my palette paper. This is palette paper by Strathmore. Is all this is. Not a particularly big deal.
What is palette paper?
Palette paper is a kind of wax finish paper that's very resilient to being moist.
So it's non-moisturized chicken. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Lived in the same house you did. Hairdryer!
Hairdryer. Okay, hold on. I'll pull that down. All right, we're going to watch her hair dry for just a moment. Oh, the palette graphic. I can show the palette graphic. There's that graphic. So Honor in the community asked me to show the palette graphic, so I'm going to show that up there. And also, I'm going to come back over here, and I do believe that I have... Hold on just a second. Let me pull this up. There it is. I have the painting that we're going to be working on today. So there you can see that's what she's going to be doing next. As soon as she gets this all dried out. There we go.
So something I want you guys to see. And this is the issue with the see that?
The little white
Uh-huh.
showing through?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
That's because of the coating.
That's because so you got to paint over that again?
Yeah, I do. And that annoys me. But I'm going to do it real fast.
Well, I'll push the fast forward button. See? It's already done for those at home who are watching. Isn't that awesome?
You know, so, never, if you're seeing stuff like this, just go, all right, it is what it is.
Just fix it.
Just fix it. Don't shirk away from fixing it. Just fix it. And don't think it's you. Just be like, this is one of those areas where be observant. And this is why art materials. So I can spend a lot more money on canvas and not have this problem. I can take a lot more time in canvas prep and not have this problem. But today I just popped open a canvas from Michael's, put some paint on it, and this is the set of problems that I get from that decision. And they're not unfixable. It just means I'm going to spend this time here in a second coat of paint.
That's okay. Just a little extra paint on there.
Yeah, it's fine, and it's okay. But sometimes, like, when you're at home, you'll be like, what is going on? It's the coating. Not you.
Not you.
Not you. And again, if you're like, I'm going to just sit there and gesso this. Now, when you put gesso on, you're going to find the gesso super absorbent to your paint. So that'll affect your painting experience for sure. There's a process I've seen about preparing board, though, John. I think I'm going to show on the pair class.
Oh, yeah.
As about an alternative way to get the canvas going.
Wow, I see a bunch of faces out there that are fun. So Ian just came in.
Hi, Ian.
And I see Janine, I think it was.
Hi, Janine.
She has I was just checking out her channel. She has a crafty channel, Janine's Craft Room.
Oh,
so
cool.
I was just over there peeking that out.
So you can click their name and check out their channels.
Yeah. So we had some new YouTubers that were scoping us out. I was kind of.
If you have a YouTube channel, I do not mind as long as you're not like screaming in the comments, "Look at my channel!" like 55 zillion times. I saw that over on Marcello's.
Oh yeah.
There was someone who just only posted like his channel.
That's crazy.
It got to be a little much. Like I went and looked at it, and then by the end, I was kind of annoyed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if you've got a channel, it's hard to find other creative YouTubers, and I don't mind at all if you're like, hey, I know Cinnamon. I'm in the CAC with her, and I make crafts, or maybe you don't know me.
Yeah.
But you're like, I really am proud of what I'm making. It doesn't offend me.
Well,
when
definitely.
I was first on YouTube, I had the worst time, John knows this, commenting on other YouTubers' channels because I was so afraid of seeming spammy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say, great job, I love what you made. And then I would have like a panic attack. And it was just, it was literally a panic attack.
Well, we really appreciate all the other CAC members coming in here and sharing their projects.
Yeah,
it
I
gives
really
our community
do.
stuff to do. There's Ian's always got something interesting cooking with his little paper cutting machine, and
Mark and Stephanie have got
daily basis is doing
on
something
a
new.
daily basis. Lindsay was one of the channels that I had a panic attack commenting on.
Yeah, it can be difficult.
Because I was like, this is really cool, but I don't want to seem weird.
Right, yeah.
And thank goodness Secret, messaged me and that one first time.
Yeah.
Reached out and I was like, because she was like, do you mind? I'm like, no, I don't mind. Oh my God, we're allowed to talk to each other? That's so awesome.
And then you and
Clive.
Angela did that.
Angela and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that big thing going.
But what you might not know, if you're a new tuber, if you're new to the YouTube with your channel, sometimes our settings, not based on what we have going, not based on something that I did, will put you in a spam thing, and you'll see your comment didn't post, and you'll think it's the YouTuber removing your comment, but it's just the system, and you'll have a complete panic attack. You'll be like, delete, delete, delete. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to be. And it just is the system.
Yeah.
Of course, interestingly enough, the system doesn't actually recognize the real spams. That's weird. It just tags my friends. Because it's a bot. That's all it is.
And
But
if you-
that's just something to think about. Don't be shy.
and
If you're painting along at home, be patient with us because it's really hard to do creative content. And I think it's the future of YouTube.
Yeah. And we love having everybody come in here and hang out and chat and talk about their stuff.
Yeah. Because you might discover stuff. I was just a guest on May May's channel.
Oops, I forgot to hit the mute on my...
Okay. A hair drying.
Okay.
Are you talking to someone on the phone? I am. Who are you talking to on the phone? Are they on fire? So, I'm going to draw in the girl with the umbrella, but remember, in the comments, you have a traceable. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to make a nice half moon here.
Yep.
Right? I'm planning my umbrella shape. I give myself a couple fingers up here, and I'm going to give myself at least a whole hand down here to get my little figure in. And I want this umbrella at an angle. Right? So I'm drawing an angled umbrella, and I'm using my chalk because I can erase it really, really easily. And then I'm going to make a halfway point in my umbrella and draw a line out. Right across. And you guys can't see this, which is why I'm like, do the traceable. Because you won't really see this till I'm in paint, but I'm talking about what I'm doing. I'm going to put this up here just in case you can see any of it at all as I'm doing it. Now she's going to have some beautiful hair that flows out. And I'll make at least some little mark about that because I know I'm going to want to put that in. Right here, I'm going to put in a round ball for a shoulder. And I'm going to put in another. We've done this before with the dress, some bubbies. I'm going to curve in with a nice curved line. And then coming out the front, and this is my favorite part, is doing the bump. And we'll give her a bump. Nice round bump. It's super fun. And then as I curve back, I'm going to actually reverse the curve. Like that. Because I just like that. Doesn't need to be that long though. And this will go like this. And I kind of do some sketching in, like where I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to want the dress to be here. Right? And then I know from her hip here, I want a leg coming back this way. And I want a leg coming up this way because she's taking a little stride. I got to leave a little room for her dog. Dog size may change depending on room left on canvas.
Yeah.
Here's the trick when you're tracing, okay? Not when you're tracing, when you're drawing, figure drawing, and maybe you're not really good at that yet. Longer legs go a long way. You can have a short, weird little body, get long legs. People just think you did it on purpose. It's the short legs that throws everybody off. Don't go chibi. I know it's trending. Chibi is hard. I've done some chibi. Chibi be hard. Yeah. So make your legs longer. Okay, and I'm going to draw my shape, which is my nice little thigh, comes into my knee and comes out to an ankle. And one of the tricks I like to do on this, I don't draw feet. I do stylization. Right. I take it to a point. We have, John and I have some sculpture.
Oh, yeah.
That we did together, some bronze sculpture. And actually, that's where this weird design style came from. Is it sitting on the floor over there? You want to show it?
If I see it come up here, I'll. Once
okay.
Onion asked if the mixed media art book would work for art quests.
Yes.
Cool.
You can do it. Here's the issue with it. And when we build it, you'll see why I specified things the way I do. And we're going to cover that first issue in that first time in January. The reason it's a thing is because we're going to really cover some gels and putties and stuccos. And those are thick. And because they're thick, right, you're going to want a little extra room. Now once I know where her feet end, I'm going to give myself a little line here. And say, all right, there's a line. So I can put her little girl. I need a sippy. I just dropped my chalk. That didn't happen. I'm going to sippy. And I don't know if, I'd love to know from you, is this part where I'm drawing it in, is that helpful? Or is it just helpful to do the traceable? And all of Lindsay's painting, how to paint, she actually covers how to do carbons and traceables and all of that. And I swear, like on a lazy level, I'm like, well, I could do one, but Lindsay's got like a lot of good ones on how to transfer an image from a copy to your canvas. Just saying, if you wanted to know today, she's got a bunch. We'll do one eventually. I'm getting to it. But, I mean, she's got a good one there right now today.
And, we got to, just to give you a quick heads up, we got like 105 people out here with us.
Hi, 105 people.
I just wanted to say thanks to everyone for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. I'm making another little half moon here on my little girl. And on her, I'm going to make a little shoulder ball here. And then we're going to have her little chest. And her little dress is just going to flow out. And then she's just going to have little bitty legs. Little bitty legs. She's really fun to paint in. And she'll also have some beautiful hair that's flowing out. We're not even going to see her little umbrella thing. And the only thing I'm going to do different on this one is make sure her arm doesn't get so buff. Because my last girl, her arm got really buff. For the dog, I'm going to start with the big fat jelly bean shape. Right here at the edge here. Okay. And then from the jelly bean, I'm going to come up with the little nose up, as if the dog's sniffing. And I maybe squish the dog this time. That'll happen. Little nose up sniffing. Little tail up. Maybe my dog is tall. I think that dog is tall. John, my dog is too tall. That's
Big
a
dog.
Dane. So that's just something when you're sketching, you'd be like, your brain will tell you something. It'll be like, your dog too tall. It's a really tall dog. Your brain will be like, I don't think you did the right thing. And he has the same sort of little coming off legs. Come up. It's really fun to do him with his little sniffy nose. And we'll paint him in and you'll see him more. I just like to know where everything is. So that's why I sometimes block these things in, is I just want to know where the heck this stuff is. And I'm going to talk to you more even about decisions that I made as we're going, so you can understand what drove them. Now we're going to start painting this in. Now I'm going to get this filbert. Filbert's around. Filbert's around.
Everyone still asks if there's still glitter in my beard. That's a regular question.
I've got a little burnt sienna over to my yellow ochre. I might even get a little dioxazine to my ochre because these are contrasting colors. And it will gray out and deepen this yellow ochre from my umbrella. And I'm going to paint in my sketches. I'm going to make them little arches where my umbrella has some little ribs and come up. Tricks that you can do to help you get a better umbrella to come in, right? And we have a bunch of umbrella that we've covered. I've done a bunch of umbrellas, and you're certainly welcome to watch any of the other lessons. This is the first one from the side that I'm doing. Is that look at an umbrella on your smartphone. Don't try to remember umbrella any more than right now you want to try to remember tree. Even when I'm doing a highly decorative piece, I'm going to look at what I'm painting. Right? But I just want this in as the darkest color. that I'm putting in. You don't want it too purple though. You just want to gray out your ochre. Believe it or not, this will make your umbrella brighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to switch to a brush I'm going to switch to smaller filbert because I need a little more control.
Hold on. There you go.
Yeah. I'm going to switch to a smaller filbert. And I'm going to paint this umbrella in, right? I'm going to paint this one in with blue first. And I think I'll actually sort of sketch in my ribs to sort of go, where am I going to put some ribs? Because I forgot to sketch those in there. I'll give myself some ribs. And then just paint this all in blue.
Just blew it in.
Blue it in. You can add a little black to the blue. But this is actually what's going to make your white umbrella seem more white, weirdly. Little black, little blue. Paint it in. Fun stuff. Paint it in. Now, as you're painting these for your friends or your girlfriend or for somebody in your life who's having a baby, wants a baby, just had a baby, you can customize the hair and all kinds of things on this painting to make this gift more meaningful to them. You know? And again, if drawing is not yet your skill, use the traceable. You'll get a good result. You'll be happy with it. And that isn't, I promise you, even though some people will try to sell it to you, is not what makes a person an artist or not an artist.
Mm-hmm.
My ability to render isn't what makes me an artist. My ability to use my skills to put together narratives on canvas is what makes me an artist. Skill set has nothing to do with it. I've seen really skilled people who could really work on their narrative.
So what's your favorite thing to paint?
Favorite thing to paint?
I saw that come up here, and I'm not sure who asked it. But,
I really like to paint horses swimming in water right now.
Oh,
From
that's right,
underneath,
you do.
from on top of the water, from all kinds of things.
I think it was Dora who asked.
I really like to do it. It's like a whole thing for me. I'm going to paint in at least one swirl of my hair. Just to know it's there in black. And you're like, wait, black, but the hair is brown. Ha ha ha! But no, this is a plan. And brush directionality here, guys, I really recommend that as you're brushing the hair, think about that. Think about the brush directionality. Think about their brush strokes and the direction that they're flowing, because that will help you tell your story. Now I'm going to come tell more tendrils and things that are happening here later.
Mm-hmm.
But I know where that sort of, well, I guess I could put it all in. Now, if you need to switch to a detail brush to get control of what you're doing, do that. Whatever gives you some type of control, that's what you want to use. This is a little different than the other hair we've done in the past. If you're first time here, you have no idea, but we've actually done hair differently in the past. First time here, you're like, what is this? This is all you know.
All you know.
This is all you know. And then when you go back to the other visual, you'll be like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
We like to switch it up around here so that you have lots of options. I like to get all kind of fruity here, so that's just the thing I do. Every time I do it. A little fruitier. Tell these little passages, these little happy
hair bits.
stories.
So what else? You're just going in there, just putting a little bit of layers. Let me try the close-up camera there.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some purple.
Some purple.
And a little blue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come in, painting that shoulder I drew in. And you'll see it on your traceable. And then I'm going to come follow my little sleeve down. Your hand, if you test where your hand ends, on everybody ends at the same point on their thigh. So no matter how abstract you're doing, if your hand is ending on the thigh, it's going to feel like a correct arm to people, even though it's very abstract. It's kind of an interesting effect. So this is why sometimes in figure drawing, even though you're not drawing something that's realistic, it's still important to know these things.
Yeah.
Figure drawing class is a lot of fun. My city has like a free one that you can, well, it's not really free, but it's like $5 you can go in and they have models that come in. And now I'm going to get a little black, which I don't usually do, but I need a very, very dark color right here that I can see. And I'm going to paint in her little sweater. Because we're going to be lightening this up as we go. Paint out her little sweater like this. Her little sweater ends before her sleeve ends. So I don't know if you can see that this is a more grayed out purple, but it lets me see enough tonal value to tell where my sleeve is. If you're still having trouble, pick up a little white and just add a little to where your sleeve is. You just want to know on your jacket, because your jacket is purple, where your sleeve is and where your jacket is.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start adding your highlights. That's all I'm saying. That's what you're trying to tell yourself. A lot of times you're leaving yourself breadcrumbs to the finishing part of the painting.
Oh, yeah.
So these breadcrumbs are like, well, I know this is a purple jacket, but I'm going to make this part real dark and this part a little bit lighter. So later, when I'm shaping this out, when I'm deciding how this works, I know where my jacket and where my stuff is. All right. And then I'm going to take a little white and a small amount of CAD, not too much, and I'm going to make kind of a very dark CAD pink. Now, could you do the Quinacridone? Yes, you could. Yes, of course you could do the Quinacridone. Right? Yes, of course you could. And I'm going to paint in, even though my dress is actually this light pink, I need this dark color for it to come out like pink. Right? Okay, I think I got a little big with her bubbies, so that's what hit her on her pregnancy. I think I went a little large there, John.
That's okay.
She went to LA.
Are you using Passamaquoddy?
No, I'm not using Quinacridone.
Okay.
It's just you?
It's
just you stuck in Passamaquoddy?
Yeah.
I think you're just trying to mess me up, to be honest. I think you don't have any problem saying it. You pick up other languages like in 2 seconds.
I don't know about that.
It's true. And she's carrying twins. Actually, that's how I look when I'm pregnant.
I think that when you get to the end of the pregnancy, everybody looks like that way.
Oh my gosh, you're impossibly big. You're just so huge. You're just like, what is happening here? And then, of course, you always have like that one girlfriend who gained 5 pounds and you can't see the baby. She's also going to have 2-hour labor and not feel it.
Yeah.
Stay away from her. Send her light and love, but she's not good for you in this time. My biggest recommendation to mommies everywhere is cut each other some slack.
So we have a request, I think, for a shout out to some little brushes.
Oh, I would love to shout out some little brushes.
And if they're not little brushes, they could be big brushes in a class.
Okay.
But we're going to send a shout out to Mr. Sloaneker's classroom.
Mr. Sloaneker's classroom. Hey, Mr. Sloaneker's classroom. Hey.
So we're going to send that out there and say hello.
That's so cool. I think is that our first classroom shout out?
It's our first classroom shout out.
Well, as I'm painting down here on the edge of this dress, you're going to see that I'm flicking out. Let's see if we can get the camera down here. I'm flicking out these little brush strokes and letting, before where I was saying it was terrible that the canvas was showing through, blah, 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 blah. Now it's my friend. Now it's my friend. This is real similar to what we just did on the ballet dress. This is just really a good cousin of that.
Yeah. A little
Yeah.
floof, floof.
Floof, floof, floof. I'm going to put out some more black. But yeah, new moms, just be easy on each other. If you breastfeed, that's wonderful. I did. Here's something. Breastfeeding can be hard, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of support, and there is a lot of help out there. I certainly had a lot of help, and I'm so grateful for it. It was a really good choice for me. But, at the end of the day, it's just important that you feed your baby. That's the really critical part. Feed your baby, clothe your baby, cuddle the baby. Those things, right? And so one of the things that can happen is we get so entrenched in our birth plans and how we want to have our babies, And you just got to realize that, what's right for you is perfect, even if somebody else does not get that. And you just got to remember that they're coming from a good place. You get a lot of, you didn't ever really see this, John, but you get a lot of well-meaning advice when you're pregnant. It's amazing how many people will weigh into your world.
Okay, what I thought was trippy was how many people just walk up and touch your belly.
Okay, that is also really weird.
I mean,
you're touching me.
It's just like, it's okay to just have strangers walk up and touch you. It's like, dude, that's creepy.
It was a little weird.
And it's not so much, when people are respectful, they sort of walk up in that sort of like, awe kind of way. It's, it's when, you have the grandma who's just like, she's going to find out how many kids you have.
Yeah, it's a midwife exam. She was a doula. She's just checking to see if she still got it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should be teaching this later. So I'm just painting in what I sketched here.
Carrie said that too. She's like, totally, people walking up and touching my belly.
Yeah, they'll give you lots of advice. They'll really, really tell you stuff. And all I can tell you is I'm an observational person. There are a lot of things that are different but still true. Right? Mm-hmm. It's cloth diapers. Work. Right?
Yep.
They do, and that can be a good way. It may not be the right way for you. Other diapers also work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the thing. It's just to realize, because you'll feel like when you're pregnant, you'll be all hormonal, and you'll be like, oh my God, if I just eat sushi, it's all over. And it's not. I'm going to thin this out a little bit. I feel like I got a little cray-cray. So if I overpaint my leg, I'm going to come back with my base color and then just pull it down. You guys see that?
I can see it.
Okay. So that's just how I thin that out. If you make a mistake, that's how you fix it. Reasons why I tend not to get too mental about any of this stuff.
Yeah,
I wish there were more support groups for dads.
Well, I think that, for dads, the first kid should come with like, what do they call those that floor vacuum that I got? What is that thing called?
The wet dry vac.
Yeah, it's the industrial one that you rent.
Industrial wet dry vac. You love that.
I mean, that thing has just been a lifesaver.
You're so funny.
I think that they should come issued with your first child. And
Yeah.
the second child, that child comes with the upholstery attachment. Because Because the first one, you don't realize you need the upholstery attachment because you're always holding that kid. You always got that kid and you're hanging on to him. It's not until the second kid comes along that you realize, oh, my. Stuff goes on everything.
You really went through some stuff. Our first daughter was really, really quiet and pretty mellow. But our son, man, he had some feelings on issues. He would let you know. And John was just convinced something was, just broken. He's like, he just keeps crying. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's normal because the books all say as long as it's under so many hours. And he's like, how is that possible?
Mm-hmm. Rug doctor. That's what that thing was called.
The rug doctor. Yeah. So
Everyone,
I'm telling a little narrative story here with this hair. I'm curving this around. This is fun to do. Curving that around. You can curl it or curve it or do anything you want with that. Totally fine. I'm going to get my dark pink again. Start sketching in my little girl. And you can see how fast these come in. Now, I made her a little bit buff last time, so I'm going to try not to be so gray this time.
So, Kim was asking, what do you get with a third kid?
Oh, punished.
Condolences?
Lunabella is the most incredible, funny, energetic human being, but she's just frankly 10 times smarter than both of us combined.
And now we're outnumbered.
And we're totally outnumbered. And they know it.
And she knows it.
She knows it. Like, she came in knowing it.
Yeah, she's just like, no, you're not going to do anything about it. You're busy. You're going to tell me this, and then you're going to go get busy, and I'm going to be able to do whatever I want.
It's so true. I'm making a slightly lighter color just so I can tell my sleeve later from the dress. Not much lighter, though. Just enough to see it. Can you guys see how it's just a little lighter?
I wanted to say thank you to Danielle. She had just shared that, last year she started painting along with us on the winter trees, and she said that it really helped her to get out of depression and to get recentered. And I wanted to say thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. Art can really help how you're feeling.
Yeah.
It's an amazingly powerful tool. It's not the end-all be-all tool, and it's certainly not, if you need, real help, it's not a substitution. But in addition to whatever else you're doing for your well-being, it is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
For just everything. It's powerful to create. Look at that little dress. Look at that little dress. I'm such a good dress designer.
So,
I'm going to give her little black legs, little big little legs.
Andrea was asking why you chose TheArtSherpa as a channel name.
As a channel name. Well, when I first started working, I got a job at a painting party with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I remember just being like, well, I don't know what that's going to be like. I don't have any idea. And I'm in there, and I just assumed it was just going to be a bunch of happy drinking women, I think is what I thought I was absolutely only going to be dealing with. And since I kind of in there, and I was dealing with anxiety, I was dealing with, like, stuff people had been told when they were young, like how they sucked and should never continue drawing. I mean, it was, like, intense. I'd come home and tell John I had people crying in class because they were in the middle of the painting and stuff would just break loose. And I was like, I realized that I had people coming in that needed to immediately understand what I was going to do for them, immediately know who I was going to be. And it just hit me one day where I was like, this is like climbing a mountain. We're not trying to get up this whole mountain right now. We're going to take it down in little bites, little sections. And if we do that, no matter what level of climber we are, we're going to get to the top. Yeah. You know, some people are going to climb up elegantly and some people are going to climb up as new climbers, but we're getting to the top, which is a finished, completed painting that we can be proud of that surprises us, is better than what we thought we could do. So it just came out of me. I'm like, hey, I'm your art Sherpa, and I'm going to get you through this painting the same way we'd go up a mountain, one step at a time. So just do the step with me.
Yeah.
And that's how we started. And I started coming home to John saying, this art thing, You know, this is really powerful in people's lives, and they really need it. And it seems to me that they need a place that they can do it. What if they didn't have the money?
What if there was a place where you could put videos online free for people
Free.
to go find? Imagine if such a place existed.
Imagine it. It would be so great. And so we got to thinking about it, and we were like, could we do that? Is that just a little something that we could do? And I really felt like I wanted to do that, and John thought that might be nice. And that we
Little did
could
I
maybe
know.
do that.
Said, little did I know how much time that would consume. It won't take any time at all. We'll just record some videos. You know, we'll put a little space in the back. You love to paint. We'll go back
I
to
think
there.
at first I had some step-by-steps on a Facebook page to help people at my job.
So
So
that's right.
And
Then people were having trouble being able to paint at home, and we want to be able to make it so they could do it at home.
well, or they couldn't afford to come.
Yeah, a lot of it was a lot of people just they could afford to go once or twice every once in a while, but it's tough to.
Yeah, and art lessons are not cheap.
Mm-mm.
You know, I've taught art lessons, I've taught workshops, but they're not cheap. And there's a lot of that out there. You know, there's not a shortage of that out there. So I was like,
And
what could we do?
Yeah, and what we do is a little different too. It's not exactly your traditional art instruction.
No. Though you will walk out knowing things you know from traditional art instruction.
Yes,
Because we're tricky like that.
like
Now, on
filbert.
this arm, it's thicker up here. And then I come and I make a little bend. And then it comes down to a little point. Just a little point. See that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
dig it.
Just a happy little arm. I got a little in the traceable. She'll be a little buff. Stuff happens in a painting, and you just can't go mental over it.
Yeah, just
Do a painting, love it, keep it. If you're close to loving it, do it again.
yes.
It's really all it is. I'm going to take a little brown and a little black, and I'm going to sketch in my dog here. I love my little dog.
I think little dog's funny too.
This is based on a dog that lived up the street from our ranch when I was a little girl that I really loved. We didn't have dogs. My dad didn't like dogs, so we didn't have a dog. I had ponies, and I had ducks, chickens.
You do draw this dog a lot.
I do draw this dog a lot.
And I say that because while this this design element dog has come up in her art throughout the years, so you see this the
Yeah.
shape and color and line that you like in the dog.
She was an Irish setter, golden retriever mix. And she liked me, and she walked me to school and protected me from the crazy German shepherd up the road, Jumo.
Jumo. That's funny.
That was that crazy dog's name was Jumo. Jumo ripped my horse jacket. My mom had handmade me some horse jacket, and it had a little embroidery patch, painted embroidery patch of my pony on it. That dog ran me down and pulled that whole thing right off. Very scary. But she started
Crazy.
coming, and Kelly was that dog's name. And she started coming and just making sure I got to school okay. And if I was having a bad day, she was there and you could hug her.
You know what I always think is
Dogs are powerful. Yeah, what do you always think?
I love how our community just comes out here and hangs out with us while you're doing these.
I love that too.
And
Puts up with me telling the story of Kelly.
I mean, and we have all these reoccurring friends that come out and hang out with us.
Let me tell them this real quick. Back here at the back leg, be sure and do these little sort of flick strokes. They're flicks.
Mm-hmm.
And they pull it out. And that gives her a little fur look. Right now I'm making these little sort of dashing strokes. Even though it's implied, it does help the fur feeling. Sorry. You go back.
No.
No, I just had to tell them that because I was doing it.
You're painting a little dog.
Now, I'm going to do the little back leg here. Like maybe a little darker
Mm-hmm.
than the front leg. Little dash, 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 dash. Some bellies. Belly fur, belly fur, belly fur. She's a fat. Kelly fat. And that's okay. I love Kelly even though she's fat. Little forward leg.
Dog.
Little dash, dash, dash. Little dash here. Just a little forward leg. I love dogs. They are wonderful creatures. She was a wonderful creature. It's so weird to love somebody else's dog. But you can do that as a kid, can't you?
Yeah.
You can love a dog somebody else owns.
I think you can do that as an adult too.
Yeah, you can.
I've seen a lot of cat coveting.
Cat coveting, like in chat today, or just in life?
I mean, just in general. Well, you know, it's like someone will covet someone else's cat.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not.
I mean, I love cats. I just haven't ever run into cat coveting. So I'm just trying to understand what's happening in your day away from home.
Like, have you ever seen those big, smushy, fluffy kitties? Like,
are you wondering what's happening in John's day away from home that he's running into cat coveters? Because I am.
You know, I'm not saying it's like on a daily basis or anything, but you know.
I'm just like, we're always together. So when have you fallen into cat coveters? It's like when you're traveling in San Francisco, it's just full of cat coveters. Just cat coveting is a problem. I'm going to get my Simply Simmons Bride out. Here is something, it's super important.
You have to remember, you're on the other side of the camera, so it's much easier for me to mess with you.
True. True. But then we'll turn off the camera, and then it'll be much easier for me to mess with you. You don't even know.
So,
I'm getting just black, and I'm loading it to the tip of my brush like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can see it. There you go. It's hard to see with black, but it's just to this tip part. I'm going to imagine that I'm a dot matrix printer, something very level.
Okay.
Something that's going to go as level as I can be. As level as I can be. Every stroke that I'm doing here is going to be level. I'm going to, this is the key to all water reflection right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to zig out and zig back. This ability to zig back and forth and create this wonderful implied water reflection is a fantastic narrative skill. Let's see, I went a little angular. What you don't want to do is go to an angle, and it'll be something that some of you will be compelled to do, and if you can resist it, it will help you be successful. If you mess up, just paint it out and go back and fix it. That's all you got to do. I need new water, babe.
Okay. I'll get you new water.
Sorry. This is just getting muddy. I might have a cup there of actual clean water, but I'm not sure. Thank you. I think I'm good. I'll just move these. This can go. It can go. It can go. It can just disappear. I don't know why. Just like, it's displeased me. The dirty, dirty water. It's wonderful rinsing out. So I'm going to work this umbrella real fast, and I'm going to get a little brown and a lot of black. And I kind of had implied some ribbles.
You get your close-up camera.
I'm going to move my close-up camera up there so you can really see it. This is a simple painting, but it still has work. It still has steps. Right? And I'm going to just draw my little ribbles. Now, I'm not so far into this umbrella where if I feel like I made a mistake, I can't go back and do something different. Which means you're not so far into your umbrella that if you're like, oh, I really hate this umbrella, that you can't just paint it out and paint it back in. In an oil paint, you can get really stuck with stuff until it's dry, or you lift it up, or do other processes. But in acrylic painting, pretty much, you're okay.
So, are we going to be doing an after show today?
Yeah, because we have viewer mail.
We have a bunch of Sherpa
I'm
mail.
happy to announce that the new mail situation is awesome. Feel free to knit hats and send them in safety. Or headbands, I don't know. Feel free because they actually send me text messages. So far, their services are working exactly as they describe. I have just yellow ochre here, and I am dry brushing it on. So that's allowing the underneath to sort of show through, right? I'm just dry brushing it on. I'm kind of cleaning up my dark little rib lines there if they got a little thick on me. So I come along there and I clean that up. And I'll pull that in. Light pressure. We've talked about this before. A lot of art is how hard you're pushing down with your brush. If you're pushing down real hard, it's going to be like that. Right? If you're pushing down real light, it's going to be like that, and the paint underneath can show through. So you've got to get control over how much pressure you're exerting on your brush when you're exerting it. Pretty much everything I'm going to talk about in art isn't going to be about some weird talent that you may or may not have been born with. But it's going to be about some skill set that you work hard to learn. Anyone that you see who's really good at painting is not talented in as much as they are determined. Someone who's really good at art, unless they're a savant, that's a different deal, as we all know. They have dedicated themselves to their craft and working and honing their skills. So we all love Marcello. He does those hyper-realism videos, right? I love him.
Yeah.
He's worked hard at that. That wasn't talent. That was perseverance. That man has worked his little tuchus off to do that, to earn those set of skills. And I think we do a disservice when we attribute skill and talent. Talent is what I do once I have the skills.
Right.
Right? That's what happens. That's what happens when you have all the skills. Mozart still had to learn how to paint, play the music. He still had to learn all of that. He just also had that other story inside of him to tell. Michelangelo still worked really hard to be able to paint. Right? While that's drying, I'm going to come down to my blue umbrella. And I'm going to add in some dark little ribbles. So I really want you to start thinking of yourself as having potential, art potential, and a person who's looking to develop some art skills, which are all entirely learnable. Because I really get heartbroken when I hear people define themselves as talentless. That makes me very sad. It's like they've said, I'm a muggle. Other people are magical, but I have not been granted that magic. I'm not deserving. That you can usually identify somebody in their life who was deserving the magic, some family member, some friend, something. And that's very sad because it's not true. So I'm going to mix a little blue and black and add it to my white. And I'm going to get a gray with a slight blue cast to it. And I'm going to dry brush that on my umbrella as my next color. And it's okay that some of the blue is going to show through. That is all right. Right? That is just fine. If you take your time on these projects and layer them up in this manner, you will get a good result. You will get a good outcome. Like when you guys do the couple in the rain, you guys take your time. These are beautiful paintings. And I'm always blown away to see them. If you guys want to know when the live shows are, be sure and subscribe and set your reminder. There's an end card on how to do it, but in the upcoming live, it has a set a reminder feature. so it can let you know. And that way you don't have to have so much anxiety over time zones because it corrects for your time zone.
So I'm setting up our event here, our Art Sherpa Happy Mail event, so everyone can
Oh, yeah, set it
send
up
in,
ahead of
yeah.
time so it doesn't do that weird other thing.
Yeah, so I was going to go ahead and set that up. And do you think it's about 20 till the hour?
20 till noon or 20 till 1?
Till 1.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how you're doing there, so I was going to check.
I think we'll be done at about 10 after 1.
About 10 after 1?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll set this up for, we'll say 1:15.
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
Okay.
All right, so I've got that layer going right there on my blue. All right, coming back up to this up here. I'm going to go ahead and give myself, I like, and I'm going to put it on both of them. I like a little, I don't know, pointy thing. I like the little pointy thing. Makes me happy. Is it necessary? Probably not. Probably not necessary. And I'm going to get some of my Cad Yellow. Just some straight Cad, guys. And this is going to be fun. I'm going to dry brush in some straight Cadmium Yellow. Letting a lot of this other color show through. It's like sketching. It's like almost like sketching with the crayon, right? Very light pressure. Letting the tooth of the canvas catch my paint. You can kind of see how it's loaded. Not moisture on there. There's not a lot of water on there. And I'm just dusting. Just light dusting. Just maybe a scotch heavier than you would apply blush. If you're a man, maybe you know the answer to that, maybe you don't. John now knows about glitter beards.
A little bit.
So, just wherever you're at on your makeup journey, never having worn makeup, having worn makeup a lot, isn't really important. This is about just light pressure. I'm coming on the inside. I'm just letting these layers develop. Painting is about layering. Rinse, 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 rinse. And down to the white umbrella. Down here on the up-close cam if you can, John.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take some not quite totally white paint, but really, really light off-white. Like one of the Home Depot versions of white. It's not true white because it's got a little black to it. But for the purposes of this, you know, maybe just a little blue. Super light though. Super light. Not pure white, but super light. Because we want to have one last kiss of pure white. Is the reason why it's not true white yet.
Mm.
And you want that pure white to really pop. Just dry brush her little umbrella. And you know kids love umbrellas. So she's just thrilled to be having one. They just love being out in an umbrella. My daughter actually thinks it's like play to be out in the umbrella in the rain. They all do. Maybe not my son Spire. He's not into that. He didn't want to be wet or dirty or uncomfortable. He's the sweetest kid. But it's just not his thing, man. He just wants to be cozy.
Mm-hmm.
He's cozy driven. He's, however, quite happy to make other people uncozy. Like if there's other kids out there and he has the hose, he'll pass on the uncozy. So you can see how we're lightening that up.
Yeah.
And at this point, you can, it's probably dry up here. If it's not, go ahead and dry it. I'm going to take just a smidge of my yellow over to my white. Just a smidge. And I'm going to get like a ducky color. Super bright ducky color. No water. I'm going to come. Have I moved the umbrella? I got to move this up. I'm going to add a little of this. Just dry brush around, come along the edge here. Lighten up this umbrella. Paint that in. Thinking about the curve. Thinking about the brush directionality. You can do this. If you're feeling tense, just breathe. It's just art. You're just doing art. You know, if you're a heart surgeon, I'm sure that's probably really, really tense. But this is life, but it is not life or death. So therefore, you're just taking a journey. You don't really, you know, get panicky during a hike, right? Unless there's a bear. Then yeah, go ahead panic. But in general, no panicking during a hiking. Because you're just taking a walk. Because you're not really evaluating the walk. You're just like, it's a walk. The act of walking is the point. The act of painting is the point. You get the health benefits and the psychological relief from painting regardless of what the outcome of the painting is.
Oh, yeah.
So, you get all the benefits for sure. I'm going to get some just white now and come down to hers, and that will actually be the umbrellas, and then we're really wrapping through this painting quite quickly.
Oh, yeah.
When we start getting into these layers, it's really... Now you can see why it was important to do the off-white. Because this white then pops. Just kissing some. Doesn't it now? Pop, 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 like Ruby Rod.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a Lilo, Fifth Element. Did you catch that?
I did.
Okay. I'm so glad so many of you hung out for our Doctor Who.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. It's been quiet. No one's been saying anything today.
Oh, yeah, there's been a lot of saying.
Oh, okay.
I have just been multitasking.
You're just multitasking. I'm like,
I've just been
I feel a
multitasking like
little
crazy.
lonely up here today.
Well, about the last 5 minutes here, I've been setting up the...
oh, okay.
So it's all set up and ready for us now. But that's why I was a little quiet, is that I was
okay
over there making sure that the next broadcast that's going to be in, half an hour is ready.
All right. So I'm going to pull out some just burnt sienna and load it on my brush. And I'm going to come along and paint the inside of my tendrils with this lovely, lovely color.
Mm.
Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm letting some of the black show through. And that starts to create that implied shading of what we might have in our hair. Look at that.
Yeah.
She's starting to have some windswept hair.
Yeah.
There's another highlight that we take on.
Oh, yeah.
But first, we're going to get some just yellow ochre. And we're going to come down here to our girl.
Lower your camera.
I'm going to lower my camera. Nausicam, mommies. To all the mommies everywhere. I hope there's a bunch of home showers that use this painting to celebrate.
And they send pictures because I want to see them.
Yes. Baby bump pictures. Whole bit. We love all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna add a little tender. If you ever notice you're like, oh, I'm not balanced, go ahead and add it. If you're like, oh, I just don't feel like that's balanced, just add it. Just tell your story how you feel your story needs to be told. I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then I'm gonna add a little white to my burnt sienna. And then I'm going to come into my hair.
You pull that up just a bit.
Yes, thank you. No, as you can.
There you go.
And then pull it up here. Just kissing this hair. This, by the way, is how you do all hair. I mean, it tells, I mean, not exactly how you do it, but like, this does tell the story of what hair really is about, which is about low lights and highlights. Everything your stylist has basically been saying to you. There we go. Got some beautiful little hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to take a little white and purple. Just a little white and purple. And I'm going to come to my girl's jacket here, because this needs to dry a little bit more. And I'm going to come to her shoulder, dust that in, and along her sleeve. Just pull that in a little bit to tell the story of her sleeve, which you can now see along the front of the jacket and a little bit in. And I might grab some just purple, but I'm not rinsed my brush, so the white will pick up on it a little bit. Look at that. There's some Donna Dewberry right there.
Oh.
And while I'm here, I'm going to pull out a teeny tiny detail brush. Which is just a small pointed brush. And I'm going to make a little, let me move, is my camera down enough?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to make a little kind of triangle curl out here. That's her hand. And if you want, you can grab some black brown and draw in a little handbag if you feel she should have one. Any size handbag. That might be a little bit small. I don't know what she's carrying in that handbag. Nothing. Not even a snack bar. I will switch to a better, more functional brush if I think I have too small of a brush or too big of a brush. So I just switch to a slightly bigger filbert just to paint that in. Just to make sure that's there. Now just get a little of that yellow and some white. And come over to Miss Girly Girl here.
Mm-hmm.
And give her some highlights in her little hair. Not a lot. Just a little, though. Look at that.
Oh.
Now she's blonde. So
The
easy.
bag is cute.
Huh?
The little bag is cute.
I like the little bag. It's a little bag. She needs a little bag. She can have any kind of bag. You put a Chanel bag there. Girl's a Chanel bag carrier. That's okay.
That's probably more of like a Coco Chanel bag.
You think?
Well, they're not very big. Typically.
Okay.
They're like little tiny, claspy, expensive things with little CCs on them.
Maybe it's not brand bag. I don't know. Maybe it's a frugal bag.
That's
Maybe it's a
what I
bag they learned
think.
how to make on YouTube.
See, this is why when you don't paint in the details, your brain fills them in.
That's right. It's exactly why. I'm making a very dark gray. I'm going to come just on the inside of my legs here. And I'm just going to give a little shadow. Not the whole thing, just a little shadow. Now listen, here's the thing. This could be any girl, right? These are any girl and every girl.
But clearly, after that baby's born, that bag is getting bigger.
Yeah. It's a whole nother bag. Which your husband thinks is a backpack.
It's much more like the duffel bag.
You thought my diaper bag was just your backpack.
Well, eventually my backpack was the diaper bag.
True. I'm going to take a little bit of red and mix it over into my white. I'm moving this over here because I'm a little surrounded by color. And I'm going to paint a dry brush. Yeah, I've got her. Of her dress in. I'm going to use brush directionality. Very light. Very light. I want it to be pink. But a light pink. So you just flick that out. It's fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, those layers really just magically pull this together.
Yeah, I love the yeah. I don't know what the yeah is for. It's a really weird yeah.
Well, Dora was saying that she really thought that last little bit of hair just went from awesome to super awesome.
It's crazy. It's just so crazy.
Just that little bit of. So Naked Eye Studio was saying more dry brush, breathes in a paper bag. So is there some things you could do to
what, in a paper bag?
Breeze in a paper bag? I think it's nerve-wracking to do dry brushing because it's really easy to just paint a big streak of white and not make that cool dry brushing effect. So like you're layering all this pink in there and then like, oh look, I just painted it white and not really dry brushing it.
Then dry it and go back with the color you want. As long as you haven't painted the tooth out of the canvas or there's some sort of texture or paint and stuff, it's just going to keep getting better and better.
So it was my experience like when I dry brush objects, because I've not dry brushed canvas, but it's easier to get more paint, but it's harder to get less paint on your brush. So it's easier to start out with less paint when dry brushing and work your way up?
It may be for you. I load up my brush. I'll show you the load.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Because I want areas where it's strong, and then I want areas where it's the pressure that I utilize with my hand. It is very, very light pressure. If we could play that Queen song nonstop during dry brushing time, I would. If they would license that to us and not.
So this is definitely a thing you practice.
It's a thing you practice.
But man, that dress came in with all that.
Yeah, just comes in. It's just pink now. Just happy pink dress. Our girl down there needs a little more pink, so I'm putting out some. And we're literally down to the hurt. It's just so little left.
Just a few little things.
Just a few little things, and then you're there. So I mix it. Here's the load.
Wow, that's a lot.
Okay. Now, I'm going to do an interesting thing here. Is it? Do I have it? Yeah, okay. I'm going to come to the back side of her sleeve. Here's the trick. Back side of her sleeve. And then halfway across, not whole sleeve. Need to do that. What's funny?
Flame was saying that we could go see if we could license Vanilla Ice instead and just pretend. Because they ripped off the bass beat.
Yeah, they really did.
But,
But hey, you can have them remodel your house now, so I guess that's okay.
Well, I mean, like, a lot of the early great hip hop was taken from earlier music. A lot of the bass beats and things like that.
So true.
Yeah, it's not uncommon at all.
That's all it takes to get her dress in. It's in. Are you freaking out?
I think that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. So now while I'm here, get some yellow and maybe some yellow ochre. I'm going to come and I'm just going to add a little bit to my purse.
Ooh.
Because I want my purse to be yellow. I'll come back with some white later. And our doggies. Our sweet, sweet doggies.
You have to adjust your close-up camera there.
Onto the doggies.
There you go.
Doggies are so fun. And this was part of, we were going to try to do a paint your own adventure where it was one video and you just clicked annotations. And so it was like 20 of these different backgrounds and different colors, and then you just picked and matched your figures.
Yep.
It was harder than we thought.
It was really just because there's so many. Once you make a mistake shooting one of them, you shoot it.
Oh my gosh. I just never thought we were going to get out of there. All right. So I am just light pressure making these little. Now, this is a little bit of how you do fur, if you've been wondering. Fur is about the layers.
Ooh.
So, fur has been eluding you. This will give you some clues to how you might tell that story. I'm going to avoid the head because I want to give him a floppy ear. A little bit of the red here. Not a lot. A little bit on this leg. Not a lot. Nice amount on the chest coming down. I'm going to, I think, do a weird thing here. I'm going to do a black ear just because I really want it to show. going to come down and make a little sort of tab shape. See the tab?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see it on the up close? I don't know if it's so dark. Can you see it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, hopefully when I paint the light around it. And I'm going to get my little detail brush out. All right. And all I'm going to do for the eye is a little wink right here. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little wink. And his nose is just sort of like a little another thicker wink. See the little thick wink?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is.
Now, Flame was asking about spray varnish.
Yes,
And
I have.
I was saying 3 or 4, even coats is pretty good.
Oh yeah, two to 3.
Yeah. You put 2 to 3 on yours and then left it outside for a week.
Okay, we were going to tell people that.
Well, just saying.
Well, now you've started the story. You might as well finish it.
We had she had painted one of the it was a canvas board.
Okay, we need to be on the up close
Yeah.
game.
It was a canvas board that had been glittered.
Yeah, it was the snowman.
A snowman canvas board. It was a little one, little 8 by 8 or something like that, or 6 by
8 by 10.
8 by 10. It was a real small one, and it had been glittered and painted and set outside, surface up on a table and spray varnished, and went through a 2 or 3 day storm. Came back out. It was fine. It was like
I wouldn't recommend it, but
I wouldn't say this is how you should store your stuff.
You should do that at all, but we were really surprised.
Yeah, it was all still glitter intact. Everything was just fine.
I'm putting a little dark blue right here. I'm going to add a highlight later, but I want him to have a collar because he's owned. He's a responsible dog owner. She loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to get a little of the yellow ochre, maybe a little white, actually, interestingly enough. I'm going to start dusting in this highlight color.
Now, there were a couple of questions out here. You primarily work in acrylic, yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. But we have a lot of friends that work in other channels too.
Oh, yeah.
that
Like,
work with
what
other
medium
materials.
were they asking about?
It was just in general. Just it was a.
I mean, I paint in other mediums, but right now on Heart Party and for the foreseeable future, we're going to talk about acrylic because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But there is some incredible channels for other mediums. Lindsay does watercolors. Marty Owens does watercolors. The Copic marker peoples, that's like Bailey J and that whole crew, and Art a la carte.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Animated Pencil
Copic
has
marker.
some stuff.
Huh?
Animated Pencil has some new pen
Animated
stuff.
Pencil does some great ink, and he's doing the chameleon markers now.
But we primarily do acrylic.
We're
because
doing
that's-
acrylic, but there's some good teachers out there teaching other mediums. I mean, Lindsay, frankly, every medium under the sun. I'm going to come along the ear and make a little highlight here, just so it shows up.
And that's really only because that's what we chose to have our conversation with.
Well, yeah, and I think it's a really good student medium, but I also think it's one of those mediums that goes from student to professional, like seamlessly.
Yeah.
Of course, they can all do that.
Yeah,
Just adding this little fur here, come up on the nose. My little happy doggy. So happy. Just wants a biscuit. We love our little doggy. How are we loving the doggy?
I think a dog's really cute.
I love my little doggy. Well, I'm at this. I'm going to get a little highlight because I've got this highlight color. I'm going to add a little of it to the purse. Just a little. Okay.
They're loving the fur. I think that's great.
Small, teeny, tiny, sharp, bright. I'm going to come.
What are you doing?
I'm going to load my white.
Okay.
And back to this. You ready?
Yep.
I can't believe we got through this painting.
Yeah, I know.
We just have this and some bands and we're done.
All right. Well, because we're almost ready. We're going to have to.
Okay,
do our
so
next
you
one.
ready for the reflection? It's going to come along here. And it's going to dance along. Make it level.
Let's hit that close up of that so we can see what you did there.
Okay.
I just
I'm
wanna
going
make
to
sure
do
they
it
can
with
see.
the pink too and maybe a
Oh, yeah.
blue. So I'm going to get the pink out. We do this, bands, and done. Add a little pink.
I thought you were going to go over the white, but that's really cool.
And then it could have given the world around it. Now you can do dark blue or you can do the blue used in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this Icelandic. Just add a little. Telling that story. Little. Little. Reflection.
Reflection.
Reflection. Get a little white and a little yellow. And just along the belly, belt. I love the belly belt. It's worth putting in. I just do. Ties this thing together. She has a little matching one. I don't know if she's a little sister or if she's a daughter. Not sure what the story is here with her. You tell that story in your head. Guess what? We did it. We did it. We painted the painting. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We painted the painting. Woo!
That's so cool. Could you show those bands one more time on the close-up camera? I missed I pushed the wrong button there, and I just wanted to make sure we got that.
Okay, so what I did, I'll redo it.
I appreciate that.
We didn't do it yet.
Yeah, I know, but it's good.
It was a premature knitting.
But it just a redoing because I had to switch over.
All right.
I had missed that camera.
I loaded up. Okay, here.
All
right, here.
There we go.
We don't know where we're going. I loaded up this. I'll just do a second coat, and I come along
right
here.
over there. That's perfect.
And that's how I did it on her too. That's all I'm doing. That's how the bands happen. Now listen. Do I have 2 seconds to show them how to get the chalk off?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whoop, let me turn that down so she's not blasting your eardrums with that craziness. There we go. And thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it. We had like 100 people hanging out with us all day today, and that's just amazing. And I really want to thank everyone. Can't tell you how much it makes a difference having you guys out here with us while we're doing these shows. So
what did I just do?
What did you do?
I have no idea.
What happened?
I just smeared paint all over.
What?
Look.
Oh my gosh. Why did that happen?
I don't know. Let me fix it real fast.
Yeah, you must have got. Look on the tip of your
hair dryer.
Hair dryer.
No, because that would have made sense.
What did you do?
It must have been the
All right, somebody rewind and find out what she did.
Oh my god. Let me fix my painting
She
real
broke
quick.
it.
So here's what I'm doing. I'm just fixing her real fast because I don't want this yellow here. Just gonna fix it real fast.
Yeah, they were actually they were just asking if the
Just fix this, paint this out. Paint it out where you don't want it. Just paint it out where you don't want it. Just paint it out. See, that's what I'm doing. This is why I don't get so insane about acrylics. That's actually kind of good that happened, because if this ever happened to you, you'd be like, oh my god, my painting. Okay, fixed.
Ooh.
That was stressful.
Well,
All right. Well,
thank
what I
you.
would have told you is you can. I'm going to do it down here.
Yeah, definitely do that. Let's zoom in there. And
Okay,
show,
so what it
they were
is-
asking about the lines.
When it's dry, you can take a brush and dust it out. When it's dry. And if it's not, I don't have perfectly clean water here. And this only works when it's dry. You can use a little water too to pull up more.
So Kimberly found out what it was.
Huh.
So if you pull your close-up camera up just a bit, when you painted in the belt, there was a big glob of yellow on the top of the belt. That apparently got all rubbed around there, and that's how it got spread around like that.
Dude.
So she had caught that.
Globs of yellow happen.
Awesome.
So now you know, and the more you know. And that's it, how it cleans up. Just cleans right up. I'm just using a brush to dust it off where it's dry. I'm not
Apparently
even
you
going to go
touched
over
it
here.
with your left hand while you were drawing. They all caught that. Your left hand.
Maybe. Who knows what's going on here? But that's how you fix it. You just wait for it to be dry and you paint that sucker out and then you're saved. Your painting isn't ruined, so nobody needs to cry. Meet you guys. I love you guys. I want to see you at the easel really soon. I hope you enjoyed doing this painting today, and I hope you get great paintings. Share them. Post them. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Pretty soon on the website. I want to see you at the easel really soon, or at least in the after show for viewer mail.
Yeah, love you guys. We'll see you in about 5 minutes at the after show.
Bye.